Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me on another video. Now, I'm sure you all saw the little trigger warning that I issued at the beginning of this video. I had to do that because I'm going to be talking about some pretty hectic stuff today. I'm going to be talking about the symptoms that caused me the most stress, that were the most severe for me when I was going through the worst of my anxiety and panic disorder. Now, the main goal for this video is to obviously help you guys, and I'm hoping that some of you might watch this video and say, oh, cool, you know, well, I'm going through the exact same thing. And by me sharing my story and, you know, just putting these symptoms, the worst of these symptoms out there, it's to just kind of make you feel that you're not alone. However, there are those of you out there who this video will trigger, so I've had to issue that trigger warning. So if you are of a sensitive nature, if you are not in a good space right now, please turn this video off or maybe just save it for a later day, save it for when you are feeling in a better space. But for those of you who are going to stay and watch, I'm going to be talking about the 4 symptoms that were the most severe for me. So I just want to say that these are not all the symptoms that I experienced. I experienced just about every single symptom under the sun. And I calculated actually that there were about 45 symptoms that I was experiencing every single day. But these ones that I'm going to talk to you about today were the most severe for me. So just literally to sum it up in a really brief little nutshell, I had my first anxiety attack in 2001. I then went on to medication. I went to therapy, different doctors. I was hospitalized. And then I kind of like sort of got over it a little bit, and then I fell into the trap again. In 2000 and I think late 2007, 2008 was horrible for me. 2009 was also just terrible. So I went through it even worse the second time around, if that's even possible. But yeah, so basically I'm going to be talking about the 4 worst symptoms that I went through in that sort of 2008-2009 period. Okay, so the first symptom that affected me really badly was derealization, depersonalization. I felt really cut off from the rest of the world. Obviously, I could see what was going on, and I could see, you know, other humans. I could see that life was just carrying on as normal around me, but I didn't feel like I was a part of it. And I also felt detached from myself. I felt detached from my external environment. I felt detached as a human. I felt as if my mind and my body were detached from each other. Honestly, I felt like an entity that was just floating around. I didn't feel human, like I was a human with a brain in a human body. Nothing made sense to me. Nothing felt right to me. I felt nothing. I just didn't feel anything about anything. The only thing that I could focus on was what I was feeling at the time. And it's a really, really terrible feeling. I think I actually described it in my first book. I described it as I was being like a bubble, just kind of like floating around. It's just like, it's a horrible, horrible feeling. And the only sort of word that I can use to sum up what I was feeling was this depersonalization, this derealization. Okay, the second symptom that I want to talk to you guys about was paralysis. So what happened is one morning I woke up and the whole left-hand side of my body was just completely paralyzed. It was the scariest thing in the world. Honestly, you know, think about it. You wake up and you're paralyzed. You can't move. And my husband was up. I think he was in the kitchen making coffee or getting ready for work or something like that. And literally I screamed the house down and he came running. And I was like this for a few minutes. I couldn't move the left-hand side of my body. And then once, you know, he had talked to me. My husband was just so used to my anxiety at this stage. And he sort of calmed me down and I kind of breathed a little bit. And then once my body had sort of calmed down a little bit, I realized that I could move, you know, I could sort of move my arm like this, you know, and I could move my fingers a little bit, but it was really, really sore and I could do it, but with great difficulty. So we phoned my mom, who lived just up the road from me at that stage, and she took me to the doctor, and all it was just my muscles had just completely given up. They were fed up with me putting them in this constant state of tension and angst, and that's all it was. That's all it was. And it took a few days for me to actually gain, complete control of the left-hand side of my body again. It was really, really horrible. So I think he did prescribe a muscle relaxant for me, I think. But yeah, I mean, it was so scary. I can't even explain to you guys how scary it was. Okay, the next symptom, you guys, I think you guys know what I'm going to say. You are expecting it to come up, and that's tinnitus. Tinnitus was by far one of the freakiest symptoms that I have ever experienced in my life. It is horrible. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. And what I'm actually seeing now, because I've done so many videos on this topic, a lot of you guys are writing to me and you are telling me that you're experiencing this symptom as well. And my tinnitus videos, the first one that I did, which was my ears are ringing, anxiety disorders and tinnitus, is one of my most viewed videos, and I am still getting comments in the comment section with regards to that video to this day. So I'm just actually seeing just what a common symptom tinnitus is with regard to anxiety disorders. But at the time when I was going through it, there was not a lot of awareness being created for mental health, in particular anxiety disorders. So I was just kind of left, to kind of like figure this thing out on my own. And whenever like I Googled something at that stage, I mean, bearing in mind this is like 10, 12 years ago that we're talking about, there wasn't a lot of information. It was just like your normal symptoms, like your usual symptoms that you hear, like sweatiness, dizziness, heart palpitations, those kind of symptoms. And tinnitus was not really mentioned among them. So, I know how distressing the symptom is. It's really, really irritating. But the important thing that you guys have got to remember is that it is a symptom of tinnitus. It is a symptom. Tinnitus is a symptom of anxiety. But please listen very carefully to what I'm going to say to you guys here. As long as it is anxiety, tinnitus is a symptom of something else. However, it's not always anxiety. Sometimes it can be an inner ear disorder. It can be earwax buildup. It can be damage to the little hairs inside your ear. Meniere's disease. It can be something like that. So I always say to you guys, a lot of you write to me and say, oh, I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling anxious, and I have tinnitus as well. And I always say, if you are one of the people that have written to me, I always say to you, you've got to get it checked by a doctor, because it might not be anxiety related. Mine was purely anxiety related, and that's why it went away. I'm one of the lucky ones. My tinnitus did actually go away. But also, please remember, it's very, very important to know that we are not all the same, and we react to different things, we respond to different treatments differently. So yes, by all means, I'm telling you that I am living proof that not only can you get over anxiety disorder, but you can also get rid of a very, very distressing symptom like tinnitus. But on the other side of the coin, the unfortunate thing is it doesn't work like that for everybody. Okay, and then the last symptom that just really, really affected me really, really badly was panic attacks. And I was easily having about 2 or 3 a day, easily. And it's a horrible thing to experience, because you start to sweat. I mean, you literally, once that flight or fight mode is turned on, your body starts to react and you start to experience sweating. What else? Dizziness, heart palpitations. Your heart starts to beat so fast, and you start to do this. I don't know about you guys, but this is the way I differentiated an anxiety from a panic attack. A panic attack for me is like when I was going, like literally you are just taking in so much oxygen, and you're taking in more oxygen than what you need, and you're doing these quick shallow breaths, and that is what causes the headaches and the dizziness, and just causes you to feel completely and utterly crap. So I really, really do understand what it feels like. And you know what? Since 2009, the end of 2009, I haven't had a single panic attack. So I hope that that's also just, you know, a little piece of hope for you guys, that you can get over your panic attacks as well. Okay guys, so there you have it. Those are the 4 symptoms that for me, were probably the worst that I experienced. As I say, they're not limited to those. I experienced a lot more, but I just wanted to cover the most severe. And like I say, the goal of this video is to just help you realize that you are not alone, and to also make you guys realize that you can get over this. I was really severe. I was as severe as you could possibly get. Seriously, I was. And here I am today, and I'm happy and I'm recovered. Yeah, I'm not cured, but you know what? That could still come, and I'm a work in progress, and that's what this is all about. It's about working at it every single day. We've been diagnosed with anxiety disorders, and I don't consider myself to have an anxiety disorder anymore, but I do still get bouts of anxiety, but I know how to handle it now. So, you know what? I consider myself a recovered anxiety sufferer, and I'm healthy, I'm happy, and I'm making these videos for you guys, which I never ever thought that I'd ever be able to do. So, you know, it just goes to show that, you know, it can change, and it can change for the better. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you experience any of these symptoms, and let me know some of the other symptoms that you experience as well. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the little grey bell for notifications. That will let you know whenever I upload new videos. And last but not least, please share this with a friend. There is a trigger warning at the beginning, as you guys saw, so anyone who should not watch this video obviously will see that there is a trigger warning, but you never ever know who it could help. So please don't forget to share. And I'll see you guys next week for a new video. Bye.